Print, baby, print. Spend, baby, spend. Since the new White House administration and the new Congress came into session, the last couple months have been absolutely insane with the headline numbers that both the White House and Congress want to spend. Now, it's not even a month, or at least it seems like it's not even a month, since that $1.9 trillion headline package for stimulus, and I'm using air quotes here. And a lot of that money is getting wasted. I covered that in a previous video in the last couple weeks, that not even 25% is going to average everyday Joe and Jane Americans. The majority of that currency that is going to be created is going to be given out as payoffs or bonuses or bribes or unbid contracts to people's friends in Congress, special interest groups, large corporations. And this new headline that's coming out is another $3 trillion. So that would be an additional $4.9 trillion in new commitments on top of the budget deficits that are already being run, on top of the $5 trillion, according to George Gammon, that he talked about in the last interview that I did with him a couple months ago. I think it was sometime in January. 2021 is going to be absolutely insane amounts of budget deficits. No wonder the large banks are having problems buying all these treasuries. So the Fed's balance sheet, it might be over 10 trillion in 6 months or less. That's how nuts things are going. And unfortunately, this infrastructure bill, I'm using air quotes here, Obama claimed to have, when he came into office in 2009, he claimed to have, I think, about $1 trillion of shovel-ready infrastructure projects. And a lot of those infrastructure projects, there was so much waste, fraud, corruption, and abuse. There was bridges to nowhere. The Republicans also do that too. So both political parties, the waste, fraud, corruption, and abuse, or pork barrel spending. If you're not American and not familiar with what pork barrel spending is, when you have things like the world reserve currency of insane monopoly money, Congress is spending like there's no tomorrow, then you can get away with absolutely insane trillions and trillions waste, fraud, corruption, and abuse. Where this pork barrel spending, people are literally trading favors for votes or payoffs and bribes. And yes, it's common in other countries, but on the scale here in the US, it's absolutely insane because the US has the world reserve currency, and just the size of all the levels of government, especially the federal government here, and the budget deficits. Now you have potentially, we'll see if this gets passed, but after the November elections for Congress too, and then the special runoffs in Georgia, what you have now is Congress, the Democrat-controlled Congress, slight Democrat-controlled Congress, and this was caught on a hot mic in the last week or two, and I covered this. They're trying to ram trillions and trillions extra in spending and bailouts and payoffs and bribes. Even going to go to the average Joe and Jane, the taxpayer, the person who tries to build a small business and pay their taxes on time and, follow the rules. Instead, what's going to happen is, as you can see there, I have highlighted in the red box, it looks like Biden's going to be changing how people are taxed soon too. So more people are taxed. He's going to lower the income threshold for the top marginal rate to tax all individual income above $400,000 at 39.6% in order to raise more revenue for his spending plans. When he said verbally that he wouldn't do it, but if you went to his website when he was running as a candidate, it was highlighted in there. So this is typical hypocritical behavior, do as I say, not as I do, by politicians, bureaucrats, and central banksters. So stagflate, tax lie, the amount of spending. Now, we'll see if this bill gets passed, but it looks like it's going to probably be jammed through. But I don't think we're going to see a lot of useful infrastructure spending. Maybe we'll see a bunch of electric vehicle supercharger stations put all across the country, but I doubt they're going to be done efficiently because the government doesn't do anything efficiently.